and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Welcome back to my hashtag TAT series. For today's topic, we're going to be talking all about going to a community college versus a state school or university. And this is more of a just opinionative educational video rather than a controversial one. And like always, I am going to go ahead and announce next week's topic along with my disclaimer. So be sure to come back next Tuesday where we're going to be talking about possibly one of the most controversial topics on the planet, and we will be talking all about Planned Parenthood, birth control, and abortions. And if you guys have any specific questions related to my views on that, leave them down below and maybe you will be featured in next week's video. And for my disclaimer, as usual, I am not trying to offend anyone in any way, shape, or form, and these are all just based on my personal opinions. So without further ado, let's get started. So the big question is, do I attend a state school or university, or do I go with community college? And today, I'm going to be talking about the differences between the two, some of the misconceptions between the two, and that kind of stuff. So first off, for those of you who don't know, here in the United States, we start school anywhere between the ages of 3 and 5 and 6. It all depends on if you go to preschool, pre-K, and stuff like that. If you go to preschool or pre-K, you usually start between the ages of 3 to 5 and then start kindergarten between the ages of 5 and 6. And then you go to primary school, which is usually 1st grade through 4th grade. Some do 1st grade through 5th grade. And then you go to middle school. Some people call it junior high, which is either 5th grade to 8th grade, 5th grade to 9th grade, 6th grade to 9th grade, or 6th grade to 8th grade. It all basically just depends where you live. And then there's high school, which is either 9th grade to 12th grade or 10th grade to 12th grade. It all depends. But after 12th grade, you graduate from high school and then you are done in that school system. And so after you graduate from high school, most people elect to go to college to study a certain profession and then get a degree in it so they can work in that profession. And there are a bunch of different options. You can do certificate programs through community colleges. You can go to a community college, which is a 2-year degree, also known as an associate's degree, or you could go to a state school or university, which offers 4-year degrees, also called bachelor degrees. And then on from there, you can go to graduate school. I'm not going to be talking about those today. I'm just going to be talking about community school versus the state school or university. So that's just a little rundown of how our school systems work here in the US. So now that you know about community colleges and state schools and universities, I'm going to be talking about the difference between the two. Obviously, like I said, a community college is just a 2-year college where you get an associate's degree, or you can just go to get a certain certificate. And then the university or state school is a 4-year degree, which is a bachelor's degree. So some career options, they require you to have a 4-year degree. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go with the topic of nursing because it is one I know about. So you can either have an RN degree, which is a registered nurse degree, from an associate school, which is a community college, or from a state school or university. Obviously, the difference is 2 years of education versus 4 years of education. And now some places require that if you want to work for them, you do have to have the bachelor's degree, which means you would have to attend a 4-year state school or university, whereas some only require an associate's degree, which you can obtain through a community college. So depending on what profession you want to do and where you want to end up working, it is really important before you start applying to schools to look at those things, because if you end up wanting to work at some hotshot hospital that requires you to have a bachelor's RN degree, but you're only applying to community colleges, then in the long run, you're going to be screwed. And then there's this hybrid option for getting a bachelor's degree. You can do 2 years at a community college and then 2 years at a state school or university, depending on what they allow you to transfer. And so I am at a community college, and so say I went for nursing, which is what I started with. I could start at the community college I'm at right now and get my associate's degree and then transfer all those credits into a 4-year college, but only do 2 years of it. And based on some of the deals that certain schools have with community colleges, all your credits may transfer or only some. I know that here, most of the developmental classes and anything below a 100 class wouldn't transfer over. So that means when you go to graduate from the big university, you may have to take a bunch of random electives to have enough credits to graduate with that bachelor's degree. And so in terms of degrees, it is really important to see. Also, community colleges offer a ton of different degrees in a ton of different fields, which is really nice. Whereas some universities and state schools only offer certain ones. They have business schools, they have law schools, and they have stuff like that, which is something you have to pay attention to. Some schools are only liberal arts. So now we're going to get into the biggest difference between the community college and the state school or university. Obviously, one of the biggest things is the time difference and the degree you get, which I've already touched on. Another huge difference is the price. Community college is significantly less than going to a 4-year college. I have been in community college for 5 years now. This August marks my 6th year, and I have had to take out student loans. I have received scholarships and grants as well, which has helped a ton. ton. And throughout all that, I've only racked up about $30,000 worth of school loans, which is less than what I would spend on 1 year at a 4-year college. Which is why I chose to go to community college, and I am, in fact, very happy that I did because of the amount of times I've changed my major and how long I've been there. That's another thing people don't understand, is that just because it's a 2-year college doesn't mean you're gonna finish your degree in 2 years. In all honesty, the chances of you finishing your degree in 2 years is pretty slim to none. You'd have to be taking 16 to 18 credits each semester in order to finish in that 2-year period, because when they say 2 years, they are not taking into account all the prerequisite classes that you will take. They are only talking about the degree classes you will be taking. And then you have people who will tell you that going to community college isn't the same as getting the real college experience, and that just because you go to a community college, you aren't as smart as everyone else. And let me tell you, there is no difference education-wise between a community college and a 4-year school. The only difference is the length of time and the price. You are getting the exact same education at a community college as you would be at a state school or university. There is literally no educational difference. I'm the one who ultimately decided to go to a community college. I applied to 3 schools. I got into all 3 schools, 2 of which were universities, and then the community college I'm at. And it ultimately came down to, I wanted to save money and could get the same education in less time for doing a specific job by going to the community college. So you just have to think. I know personally I'm paying for my college out of my own pocket all by myself, so that is another thing to take into account. So since I am paying for it, I definitely wanted to go with the cheaper route. You can still get the full college experience at a community college and everything like that as you would at a university or 4-year school or state school. Another thing is how far you want to go from home. Some of you may be lucky and have universities and state schools really close to you that are in commuting distance, which is nice because that does save you money on dorming. Whereas community college, most of the people, if not all, are commuters. I know that at my school we do have dorms, so if you are from out of state or anything, you can do that. And that is another thing I want to talk about, is in-state and out-of-state. Going to an out-of-state university or state school is expensive. You have to pay out-of-state tuition. Whereas if you are going to a state school or university in your own state, it is a lot cheaper price for you because you are in-state and get in-state tuition. And then at community college, you can be an out-of-state student and it will just cost you a little more, but it is still on the cheaper end. So I know this video is all over the place, but I do want to wrap it up. So basically, there really is no difference other than price and the amount of education you're getting in your degree. Do not let anyone tell you that just because you're at a community college, you're getting any less of an education than someone at a university or state school, because there is not a difference whatsoever educational wise. The classes are not easier at a community college. You do not have a better rate at passing them than if you were to go to university or state school or anything like that. They are the exact same. The difference is the time frame and the price. I am proud to be at a community college. When people look at me and say, why didn't you go to a state school or university? You know, you're not getting the true college experience. I look at them and I tell them, I am saving myself money in the long run for the same degree they're getting. I am getting it in less time. I am getting it for less money. I will not be in debt up to my eyeballs while I'm still at the age of 30 or 40. And that it's ultimately my decision and I shouldn't be thought of any less just for going to a community college. So that is just this week's video. Make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday where I will be talking about Planned Parenthood, abortion, and birth control. And like I said, if you guys have questions related to my views on that, leave them down below. While you guys are down there, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I upload a bunch of new videos each week and would love if you would become part of the Allie Paca squad. I hope you guys like this video and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!